If you're a bivocational pastor, then this special flash episode is just for you. I'm Pete Mitchell, and in between our regular Church Planter podcast episodes, I'll be bringing you insight and ideas to help our bivo pastors have an easier and more profitable go at it. If you'd like more info on the training program specifically for bivocational pastors, you can check it out at missionbybusiness.com. Probably no one in the bivocational program, the training that I've got, has had a bigger life change than a guy by the name of A. David Griffin. He's a pastor out of South Carolina. And interestingly enough, when he first came to me, when he first came to the program, life was very, very different for him. He's just an incredibly dedicated, hard worker, a great pastor, a great heart for the Lord, great heart to witness to the lost. And he was also a socialist, as he told me. And it really wasn't until he came through my training that he went from being a socialist to now very much so a capitalist. And really the reason for that is he had just really never been taught how money worked, how you can earn money, and you can earn it easier than I think most people realize. And that's really the heart of the bivocational program that I've got, that I do with pastors, is trying to give them a tool that they can utilize so that they can provide for their families, and yet it doesn't suck up all of their time. So they don't have to spend 50, 60 hours a week working, then trying to do a church plan on top of that. And of course, the thing that always gets cut is the family. And that's not good on any level, because God's called us to our family first and foremost. But anyway, A. David, we've got this Voxer group that all the bivocational pastors can leave messages in. Voxer is an app on your iPhone, Android, desktop, and we got a private group. And so the guys are always in there talking to each other, and this is a problem that I've got, and this is a solution someone else will chime in with. And so A. David literally just put this question in the group, and I thought it was a great question, and I wanted to share with you my response. And his question was, one of his clients that he's got, he just did an interview, and he goes, it ended up being like an hour-long interview where I'm asking my client, what did you like about working with me? How has it affected the business? What are some of the downsides to working with me? What have you not liked? He goes, even the downsides ended up being, benefits, like, well, now we're flooded with clients, and so we've got to, better our staff and blah, 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 stuff like that. And so he's like, I got this great video. It's an hour-long video. How can I use this to help me get more clients? So lots of different ways you can use that. And so he's seen some of the videos that I'm doing here on Facebook. And of course, I replay the audio on the Church Planter podcast. And he's like, hey, I want to, should I do stuff like that? And absolutely. Of course, you could take that, upload it to Facebook, and that could become another resource, another tool, another thing right there. Couple of other things you can do with it. So in our business, part of our sales model, if you will, is we're going to have a one-on-one call with someone. I mean, no one's going to hire a consultant because they see some stuff on the internet or anything like that, right? I mean, they're going to go from, okay, they're intrigued, to let's actually meet, or we're going to talk on the phone, or we're going to see if, we're actually a good fit together. So, what I would recommend is this could be a step. So when in my Contractor Secret Weapon program that I do with Dave Negri, our model for that is we run ads. People see the ads. They opt in to get our template. We basically give them a 9-step template to go from where they are to where they're trying to get to in their business, which is doubling their profits. And as soon as they ask for that, they're taken to a video with me. We call it the Authority Amplifier video. And by the way, this is all stuff I learned from a guy by the name of Aaron Fletcher. And in the Authority Amplifier video, we really just teach them, hey, this is how the 9 steps work. And by the way, these are some clients that I've worked with. These are the results that we've had. If you'd like to see how this might work for you in your business, go ahead and click the button on the page and set a call with me. All right, so that's the flow, that's the model. So when someone actually sets a call with me, the next step is my system automatically emails them a link to a video page, and I say, hey, your homework before the call is I want you to watch this video. And I want you to watch this video because I want us to be on the same page and really maximize the time that we have together. So think about this from your point of view. If I have a great testimonial video and it's got a lot of really good information in there, great ideas that someone can take and implement, I would probably send that to a prospective client. So after they've set the appointment, now, hey, your homework before we get on the phone is I want you to watch this video. Now you got to make sure it's really good, especially because it's an hour long, but I also wouldn't sweat it if they didn't watch the whole thing too. So that's one thing that you can do with it. Of course, you want to put it on your website, absolutely put it on your Facebook page. And then of course, another thing that you can do, that is, a great idea is you can transcribe that thing into a little booklet or a guide and put a great title on it. 3 things learned by working with A. David Griffin, or, I'm just coming up with something off the top of my head, and obviously not very good there on the title, but point is you could turn it into a little booklet. So let me give you an example of how someone did this. And I mean, it helped this guy out a lot. So there was a guy by the name of J.R. Brinkley. He was an absolute charlatan. I mean, completely a charlatan. So I'm sharing that with you so you understand. I in no way say look up to this guy because he was a great ethical businessman. He wasn't. This guy was a charlatan. He was out to get people's money. Now, he was a quote-unquote doctor. This is back before you had to have a medical license, and you could literally, like in his case, I think he paid $75 in the state of Kansas and got the doctor designation. So he was now Dr. Brinkley. And what he did, his niche was he helped men with erectile dysfunction. And he helped them by doing goat testicle transplants. Yes, you heard me right. They would do a transplant of goat testicles into a man to fix the erectile dysfunction. I kid you not, this man ended up being just like one of the richest people in America from that. Apparently, Viagra wasn't the first fix, and I guess this has been a problem for men for decades, hundreds of years, it sounds like, because he never ran out of patients. Now, the reason why I know about this story is a guy by the name of Dan Kennedy. So in the marketing world, Dan Kennedy is pretty much the biggest guy that there is. He did a book called Making Them Believe, which was telling the story of J.R.R. Brinkley or J.R. Brinkley, and everything that they did. He did that book with Chip Kessler, and then they also put together a home study course called Making Them Believe. And because this guy was a master marketer. I mean, criminal, crooked. I think he ended up going to jail. I can't remember everything. I mean, I know he had patients die on the table. I mean, all kinds of crazy things happened. He ended up buying radio stations, and when he got banned, he ended up buying a radio station in Mexico because he could make it go into America, and he could still get clients that way. I mean, and then of course, there were people who sang his praises and like, hey, you fixed my erectile dysfunction. So one guy ends up sending him a 14-page testimonial letter saying how great his services are and how he's totally changed his life, and his wife is happy again, and blah, 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 all this other stuff. And so J.R. Brinkley, smart as he is, decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and copy that and publish it as a booklet. And he did. And he gave it out to everyone, everywhere, as much as he could. He used that thing. I mean, this thing became a staple of his marketing materials. Everybody got it. If you wanted to have an appointment with him, you got that. Because it was third-party testimonial. It was a third party, someone else saying how great his services were, and how they do work, and how it can change your life. So how does this benefit you as a bivocational pastor? If you are in any way self-employed, testimonials and reviews are one of the most important things you can have. Technically, it's the second most important thing. The first thing would be a book. Ironically, in the Western world, if you are an author, you are seen as better than the average person. And so I would say get a book get a book as like the first thing. I have a whole strategy for how I'll sit down and crank out a book in a weekend. And now I got a book. So whenever I go into a new niche, it's almost the first thing I do is I'm going to put together a book. And now I've got this book. Now I'm an authority in that niche. Not a very difficult thing to do. And I'm not talking about books that you're going to go out and get in Zondervan and, it's going to teach the finer points of evangelism. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about business books that have a specific goal and a specific thing that they're trying to teach. Usually one little thing that we're trying to teach. That's the number one thing that you want to have in your business. But the second thing are testimonials, reviews. Think about Yelp. The whole reason Yelp exists is so people can actually say if they like a company or not, and someone else can go and check it out and see if that's someone who they want to do business with. Google reviews, same thing. I mean, these are really important in today's day and age. There's a guy by the name of Dan Henry who is a young little kid, and he's making millions of dollars a year. And he goes, I never learned how to do copywriting. So copywriting is what you put on the web page or the sales letter or the sales video. And he goes, all I do is I just put up testimonials. So I get testimonials from all my clients. I get video testimonials, and I put those everywhere. And that's how he gets his business. That's how he breaks into a new niche is he'll do a training. He'll do it for free. He'll get testimonials. And then boom, he's going to use those testimonials to sell people on why they want to join his program or go through his coaching or anything like that. So if you're a painter, if you are a financial planner, you got to be careful because you got laws there on can you use testimonials or not. If you're a registered investment advisor, you can't use testimonials. If you're a registered representative, you can use testimonials. Insurance agents can use testimonials. Real estate agents can use testimonials. In fact, I had this one client in real estate who's done over 3,000 transactions. And I asked him, I said, well, let me see your testimonials. And they had like 15 testimonials. I'm like, you did 3,000 transactions. Oh, I never thought about asking for it. I'm like, dude, most important thing you can have is testimonials. So I would actually take those testimonials and put them everywhere. Put them on your brochures, put them on your flyers, put them in your consumer guides, put them on your, usually take one or so and put it on your business card. I mean, use testimonials everywhere. So the same thing goes for A. David with his video. Use it everywhere. Transcribe it. If you got a podcast, throw that sucker on a podcast. Use it absolutely everywhere. That's my encouragement to you, Mr. Bivocational Pastor or Mrs. Bivocational Pastor. Also, of course, if you're interested in our Mission by Business program, I really want to encourage you. This is a program that I do specifically for bivocational pastors to teach them how to do what I do, how to be a business growth consultant. It is not meant to replace what you do in ministry. It is meant to come alongside you. This is specifically for people who are bivocational or are thinking about being bivocational. Take a look at it. It may or may not be right for you. I've got a free video training set up at missionbybusiness.com. You go on over to Mission by Business, check out the training. If you like it, you can set up a call with me. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. You don't set up a call with me, but that's going to be the best step for you to take. So I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and do that right now. Missionbybusiness.com. Check it out. All right. I'll talk to you soon.